Okay guys, today we're doing lesson 3-5. We're going to concentrate on problem solving. And the strategy we're going to concentrate on is drawing a picture. Okay? Let's look at number 1. I'm not sure, I don't remember the page numbers, but it's lesson 3-5. So look at the top right-hand corner of your book and find lesson 3-5. Number 1 says, Cal bought a poster and a pennant. Copy and complete the diagram to find out how much money he spent. So let's go over our math strategies again, problem solving strategies. We're going to circle our keywords. Okay, if he's buying something, that means he's spending money. So bought is a keyword. Okay, he bought a poster and we know the word and tells us to combine items. He bought a pennant. Okay, and they want you to copy and complete the diagram to find out how much money he spent. So we're trying to find out how much money he spent. Now, this is the simple problem in your book. Okay, number 1 is the question. Now, at the very top of your page, you notice you see some pictures, and I've drawn those pictures here. Remember, anytime you see a picture in math, I want you to star your picture so that I know you looked at it, because a lot of times pictures in math give us information that we need for the word problem. Now, let's look. He bought a poster and a pennant, but they did not tell us in the word problem how much the poster and a pennant cost. Okay, so let's look at our picture. A shirt costs $19. Shorts cost $15. The poster costs $10. The pennant costs $12. Okay, so he bought a poster, which is right here, and he bought a pennant, which is right here. Okay, so he spent $12 and $10. All right, so here's my diagram. Remember, when you draw a picture, you always write down what you know. Okay, we know he bought a poster. And the poster, because the picture told us the poster was $10. So this right here, this 10 right here, represents the poster. So we know he spent $10 so far. Okay, and this right here represents the pennant, because the pennant cost $12, okay? And the question was, how much money did he spend? Now let's look at your diagram. We know both parts. We know he spent $10 and $12. We don't know how much he spent in all. So that's what we're trying to find, the total. Remember, when you're trying to find the total, okay, the question you should ask yourself is, what operation should you use? Okay? Now, in all, we know goes with addition. Okay, so if he spent $10 on the poster and he spent $12 on the pennant, I can add those two together to find out how much he spent in all. 0 plus 2 equals 2. 1 plus 1 equals 2. So altogether, he spent $22. Okay, this shows work. Remember, on word problems, I want you to always show me your work. And your picture was important because it gave you the cost of the items he bought. That information was not in your word problem. You had to look at the picture. Let's look at another one. Let's look at number 4. It says, David's dad spent $27 for tickets to the baseball game. He also spent $24 on food. About how much did he spend? Okay, now let's look at our strategies. Okay, let's circle keywords. We know spent is a keyword. When you spend something, that means you're going to have less money than what you started with, so that gives me the impression I need to subtract. Okay, he spent $27. All of our number words are always keywords. For tickets to the baseball game. He also spent $24 on food. About how much did he spend? Okay, now, the first thing you need to look at your picture. Okay, they's telling me we've got one part that's 30 and we've got one part that's 20. The question you need to ask yourself, where did the numbers 30 and 20 come from? Because in my word problem, I've got 27 and 24. What keyword did we miss? Okay, if you said the word about, you're correct. Okay, remember when we were doing our rounding strategies, the word about is associated with rounding. They didn't want to know exactly how much he spent. They wanted to know about how much. So the word about tells me to round. So I'm going to round 27. And I'm going to round 24. Now, they didn't tell us a specific place to round to. So we know when we don't give us a specific place, we round to the highest place. So the highest place is my tens place. The 7 is going to tell that 2 to soar up to a 3. And now the 7 becomes a 0. So $27 rounds to 30. Okay, so he spent about $30 on the tickets for the baseball game. Okay, this 4 is going to tell this 2 to rest. Okay, So this is telling me he spent about $20 on food. So if he spent about $30 on tickets and $20 on food, and they want to know about how much he spent about $50. Now, even though they didn't have the words in all, okay, I want you to think in all in your head about how much did he spend. They want you to know all together. So, and we know the words in all tells us to add. So that's why I added after I rounded. Okay. Remember to use your problem-solving strategy. Circle your keywords. And I forgot to underline my question about how much did he spend, and then show your work. This is the work. How I show how I got my answer. Now I want you guys to practice number 6, 7, and 9 in your notebook. You're going to have to write down the word problem so that you can practice using strategies. Okay? Show me your work. I don't know how you got your answer. Don't just write down the answer. I want to know how you got it. If you've got any questions or concerns, write them at the bottom of your notebook, and we'll talk about them tomorrow. We'll see you guys tomorrow.